Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Thursday Night Skills for Life. I am Tanya Jorgensen, and I am a master rapid eye technician and a trainer. And tonight we are going to be talking about thought. Thought is the beginning of our cycle of the 7 skills for life. Let's go ahead, Alan, and head over to the whiteboard.
Okay.
There we are. Okay. So, our 7 skills that we focus on and are thought, perception, choice and accountability, cause and effect, abundance and gratitude, health and healing, and harmony and rhythm. And these all work together in and out and around each other and back and forth, and they all affect each other. Tonight's thought is really important because it all begins with a thought creation. And so we will be getting into that a little deeper. And the other items on our whiteboard, if you're new or if you've been with us for a few weeks, even there's resources on this whiteboard that you can download, including our Rabbit Eye 4-step self-care protocol is in here. There's the pattern cycle, wonderful information. There's the um, body chart and the RET self-care protocol. Lots of resource pieces here that you can look at, you can download, you can use, but especially the 4-step process. And it is all spelled out there. And it's one of those things that once you start using it more, it'll become really automatic for you. And you will get to the point where when you're triggered, you'll go, oh, yeah, I want to do that because I know it's going to make me feel better. And it really does assist you to pinpoint what it is you're feeling that you don't want to feel and what you would rather experience. So, our different things on the left side of the screen here that are our community pieces are the HHF, which is the acronym for Help My Hair's on Fire. And that's one of our tools. Anytime you're feeling stressed, triggered, really heavy stuff is going on. HHF, one of us, and we will get the word out that you just need some extra energy, and we will either, whether it's prayer, Reiki, we will send you energy so that you can feel supported by your community. The next one, the little stair steps with the 4, is the 4-step self-care protocol, which we're going to go over in a minute so we can all kind of get some more experience using it. And then there's the universal 2x4. The universal 2x4 is when patterns keep repeating in your life, things that keep showing up that you go, oh, that again. And it'll keep repeating until you get the lesson or you get the Mack truck. And personally, I'd like to get the lesson so that I don't have to have the Mack truck. So the Mack truck's big things. The Mack truck is illness, divorce, crazy relationships. It's stuff that where your life is out of control. And it's about recognizing those things before that happens. The next one is pain, which stands for pay attention inside now. This can be physical pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain, anything. Pay attention to it. It's your body's trying to tell you, hey, something's going on here. Let's deal with it. And then one of my favorites, cancel that. I use this one all the time. Or if I don't use it, people around me will use it. Because if I say something, you're putting that into creation. And if I say, and a lot of times I'll say things and then go, wow, what did that create? Cancel that. One of the ones I use all the time is if I am dealing with something with the animals. If one of the horses is sick or the pig's sick or one of the goats has gotten out, I'll look over at one of my friends and say, "Ah, it's always something." And then I'm like, "Okay, what is that creating? That's just bringing me more of the something I don't want to have to deal with." So I've started remembering to cancel that so that those kinds of things aren't going to happen. Hopefully. Okay, I think we're done with the whiteboard. All right. Thank you, Alan. Okay. Everybody's joining us. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so let's go over that 4-step self-care protocol. Just because this is such a good tool and it really does assist to break state, to change our thinking, change what's going on around us, help us to figure out what we want to experience instead of always getting what we don't want. So, let's see. We need a feeling. So we're gonna pick something. For me, lately, the big one for me lately has been worry. I've been dealing with a lot of worry, which anxiety, fear, all those kinds of things. But really, I would like to realign that word worry. And for me, the opposite of that would be peace. So, how many of you can relate to worry? Okay. All right. First thing we're going to do, I'm going to take off my glasses. Okay. So, we're going to start tapping. And as we're tapping, we're going to be saying, release, release, release. We're going to be above your eyebrows. Release, release, release. Okay, then we go to the temples. This is the energy realignment part of the 4-step process. And our temples, we're going to say, stop it, stop it, stop it. Okay, cheekbones. Release, release, release. We're releasing that worry. Release. Okay, and then above the lip, the upper lip, and below the lower lip. Release, release, release. Okay, hands with palms up all along that space. Karate chop. Release, release, release. Okay, then take your left hand and take your fingers and this spot right here between the little finger and your ring finger, right about here, tapping. Release, release, release. Then on your right hand, same spot. Release, release, release. Okay. I call this one the farmer's overalls. So you're going to tap right about where the buttons on the Oshkosh bagoshes would have been. Release, release, release. Ooh, those are sore tonight. Oh, okay. Then take your thumbs, go under your armpits, and really look around. Find a sore spot. And this you're going to just push and release, push and release, 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 release. Okay. So then take a soft fist over your heart, clockwise motion. Even though I've experienced this feeling of worrying, I totally love and accept myself, especially when I worry. I choose peace. From this moment on and into the future, I create peace in my life. Okay, so that was the energy realignment. Now we're going to go into IRT. We're going to hit all those points again, only this time moving your eyes all the way to the left and all the way to the right as we tap and say the statement, I trade my worry for peace. Okay, so let's get tapping. Get your eyes going all the way left, all the way right. I trade my worry for peace. I trade my worry for peace. I trade my worry for peace. Okay, temples. Stop it, stop
Stop
it,
it.
stop
Stop it.
it. Okay. I trade my worry for peace. I trade my worry for peace. I trade my worry for peace. Okay. Over the lip and below the lip, I trade my worry for peace. I trade my worry for peace. Trade my worry for peace. Okay. I trade my worry for peace. I trade my worry for peace. I trade my worry for peace. Okay, that point on your left hand, I trade my worry for peace. I trade my worry for peace. I trade my worry for peace. Right hand, I trade my worry for peace. I trade my worry for peace. Trade my worry for peace. Okay, on your body, trade my worries for peace. I trade my worry for peace. I trade my worry for peace. Thumbs, armpits, I trade my worry for peace. I trade my worry for peace. I trade my worry for peace. Okay, good job. Soft fist, clockwise motion over your heart. Even though I have experienced worrying and I have traded it in for peace, I totally and completely love and accept myself. Especially when I feel worried, I choose peace. From here on into the future, I create peace in my life. Okay. All right, now we move into the emergency process. You're going to be looking as far left and as far right as fast as you can and say, release, 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 release the worry, release, release the worry, release, 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 release. Going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And then shut tight, open, tight, open, tight, open. Take a big deep breath in through your nose and blow it out. Ah, sigh it out. Ah, ah. I always feel better. And then the fourth part is eye patching. And I don't have one on me right now, so I'm just going to hold my hand over my eye. Remember that when you eye patch in this application, this is called trigger patching, and you keep your eye open underneath and you just do it for a few minutes. If it doesn't work on this eye, do the other one and see how it feels. But they say to patch your comfortable eye, whichever eye you feel the most comfortable with. About 10-15 minutes and see how you feel. And that will help calm your system down, break your state, and hopefully you've traded in that feeling you don't want to be experiencing for what you do want to experience. And that can be done with any feeling words. Figure out what you're struggling with and you just pop it into those things. And like I said, it's downloadable off of the whiteboard so that you can have that right in front of you until you can get it learned. I can do it so fast now and it's so funny. It really does move energy, changes energy because it gets my dogs barking. They're like, they'll come running in like, oh my gosh, what mom doing? So it really does change the energy. Okay, so getting back on our train or our bus about thought. Our thoughts are creative. Every day we are creating with our brains. Everything you look at, someone thought up. And, we live in a world where people think, oh, we need a good chair so they can sit down and draw it and figure it out and build it. And someone had to have dreamed that to make it, they thought it out of their brain and made it. And our thoughts are incredible. We are the offspring of God. And that creative power flows through us. So, what is it we're creating with our thoughts? It's really interesting. Thought patterns that sometimes can help us create what we want and sometimes get us mired in the mud exactly where we don't want to be. So, um, I looked it up. I did a little research online, talked with Danelle a little bit, and basically, we think about 20,000 to 25,000 thoughts every day. That's a lot. And only about 10% of them are new. Most of our thoughts we've thought before. We've thought them over and over and over again. Um, And then, one of the reasons why I chose worry for our word for the 4-step process is that 85%, they did a study with some people, about 30 people over 10 days, who tracked everything they worried about. About 80% of the things we worry about don't come true. That's a big percentage. And if it did turn out badly, what we consider not what we wanted, not optimal for what we want, 79% of that outcome was better than the fear that we had of what it could be. And the things that we feared the most over time, sometimes when they come up, it's our greatest lesson. It's the thing we learned the most about. So I really have been looking at what am I thinking? And the last month has been very challenging for me, probably the last 3 weeks. Um, we had been working towards putting a small home on my property from my mom. And in the process of that with the county, they've asked me to remove some friends that have been living here. I had my 85-year-old friend Pat living in my shop, and we had built it all out so it was comfortable for her, but they've considered that not a dwelling and no one can live there. So I had to ask her to go. And then I had another friend living in a motorhome. And probably she's been here for 7 years, and Pat had been here for 4 years. And I panicked. I absolutely went into worry overdrive because of I had this mantra in my head and I didn't even realize that that's what it was. But this thought was so loud in my head, I had to fight it every day, which was they have nowhere to go. They have nowhere to go. And I kept saying that to myself. And my little codependent heart just wanted to, as the story that Linnell told a couple weeks ago, I wanted to turn those turtles over. I needed to help. I needed to fix it. I needed to make it okay. And that's kind of how they ended up here in the first place. And the situation with Pat when she moved in, it was like they did not have anywhere to go. And so when I was told they had to leave and I told them, she kept saying those words too. Well, we have nowhere to go. And over 2 weeks, they looked at 150 different properties, trying to find somewhere that they could afford, that they could move, they could be comfortable in, that they could take their dogs to. They had a lot of dogs. Actually, I've got 2 of them in my house now. So I am still helping a little bit. But um, that worry of they have no place to go kept me so codependent that I would lay awake at night looking at Zillow, looking for houses, thinking, oh, well, maybe if we can get a loan, we could get them a house. That's how far my codependency wanted to take it, wanted to fix it. And I had to fight that urge so much. I had to keep reminding myself, it's going to be okay. And everywhere along the line, it has been. The
Stop
right
it, stop it, stop it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was so thick in my head, but it would hit my guts and just, I was churning. It was so painful. And I could not get that thought out of my head. They got nowhere to go. And it just wasn't true. There were possibilities. And when things worked right, it worked right and it worked fast. The universe, once I stopped trying to control it, stopped trying to fix it, the right place came up. Brenda's almost packed and ready to leave. She leaves Saturday morning. Her daughter's been here helping her, and she's moving in with a daughter in Utah. Pat and Elvin got an apartment. They moved out yesterday and today. And where they're at is so much better for them. And they all are going to have opportunities to do different things and to meet new people and be out in the world in a little different way, because I am very isolated where I live out in the boonies, and it's a long dirt road, and during the wintertime it's kind of miserable down here. And I just kept saying to Pat today, wow, you're right close to the mall and you could take the bus somewhere if you want to, and the grocery stores are close. And I said, oh my gosh, you have a dishwasher. What are you going to do with a dishwasher? You haven't had to use a dishwasher in a long time. So there were a lot of things that were so positive, but really what it's done for me is it helped me attack that codependency of needing to control it, needing to fix it, and stop that thought in my mind of they have nowhere to go. So I have an illustration. Alan's got a video that I sent him earlier today that we're going to watch. I hope you all love it. And I really think this is a great illustration of what happens when we have very rigid thinking.
Oh, beyond the last mountain, the very last mountain, beyond the last Zanica tree, beyond the last woomph bush, the very last woomph bush, there is a vacuous, vacant prairie, the prairie of Prax, and the tale of the Zacks.
One day, making tracks in the prairie of Prax, came a north-going Zax, a north-going Zax, and a south-going Zax, a north-going Zax, and a south-going Zax. And it happened that both of them came to a place where they bumped. There they stood, foot to foot, face to face. Look here now, the north-going Zax said. Hey, say, you are blocking my path. You are right in my way. I'm a north-going Zax, and I always go north. Get out of my way now and let me go forth. Who's in whose way? Snapped the south-going Zax. I always go south, making south-going tracks. So you're in my way, and I ask you to move and let me go south in my south-going groove. Then the north-going Zax said with north-going pride, I never have taken a step to one side, and I'll prove to you that I won't change my ways if I have to keep standing here 59 days. And I'll prove to you, yelled the south-going Zax, that I can stand here in the prairie of Prax for 59 years. For I live by a rule that I learned as a boy back in south-going school. Never budge, that's my rule. Never budge in the least, not an inch to the west, not an inch to the east. I'll stay here not budging. I can and I will if it makes you and me and the whole world stand still. Well, of course, the world didn't stand still. The world grew. In a couple of years, the new highway came through, and they built it right over those two stubborn Zacks and left them there, standing unbudged in their tracks.
Okay. How often do we do that to ourselves? You know, they talk about the word stuck being unwilling. And I loved how they both went into perception. Well, I learned this in South going school. You know, it's like that somebody else gave me this and this is what I do and I'm not budging. I loved how he was able to really show that, you know, we can take things right to the nth degree if we are unwilling to consider that our thoughts keep us stuck.
I was waiting for something like a lightning strike to come down, you know, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Dr. Seuss just had a way of dropping an issue right down on but yeah, it's and that's kind of where I was, and I was sitting there. I was I think it was late last night. I was like, okay, I'm teaching thought. What am I going to talk about? And it's like, those Zaxes. I remembered them.
Yeah.
How they just that thought. I'm going north and no, I'm not budging. And I'm going south and no, I'm not budging. And how that can get us into trouble, even just one little thought. And how much that thought of there's nowhere for them to go kept me in codependency. And not only that, but kept me every day going down and checking on them, going to the shop and checking Pat and Elvin, knocking on Brenda's door. Is she okay? You know, all three of them suffer with depression. And I felt like I had to take care of them all the time. And as they're leaving, it's like, oh my gosh, it's it's becoming such a relief that that is not there. And you know, things like, oh, I can feed the horses how I want to now because I don't have Pat there telling me what to do.
Can I ask you a question, Tanya?
Excellent.
Yeah,
I wonder if some point you've asked for that on some level, or I don't know, said it out loud or asked for to have your
I
place back.
I had at some, you know, I really I worried about Pat and Elvin because of their age. I worried that someday here we go with the word worry again, that I would someday walk down there and find them, either one of them, deceased. There were times that Pat would fall and hurt her head, and I'd have to take her into the emergency room. And you know what? I don't have to do that anymore. It's not my job. Her two children who live in Salem are actually closer to her right now. And it was really interesting because my friend Brenda said to me, because Pat apparently was complaining about me because this all happened because I wanted to bring my mom here. And she says, and Brenda said to her, Tanya's only job right now is to take care of her and Eric and her mom.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My mom is who I need to pay attention to right now. And you know, and I'm working really hard for that not to be a codependent relationship too. She's gonna have her own place and her own stuff, and we're gonna be good.
It's
But
it's kind of it's kind of hard when your kids are asking for help and you're saying, "Oh, I got a commitment already. I'm sorry."
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So and I think for me that did really distill down, what do I say yes to? Because I could have avoided a lot of this if I had the instant that they didn't have a place to live, I had said, okay, let's go look for an apartment. Instead, okay, let's build you a place to live.
Yeah.
I created a space for them that wasn't legal, that I didn't look up, that I didn't pay attention to. Okay, Universal 2x4. Thank you.
I know for me, my kids are teaching me to look out for myself because they're looking out for themselves. So it's teaching me, to be more close, pay more close attention to what I need for me.
Yeah,
So
Mhm.
when they're being healthy, it gives me permission to be healthy as well. So it's like, okay.
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it's a fine line, especially with children, and like with me, with my mom. And I know, Linnell, you care for your mom, and you know, at this point, she needs me, and I'm gonna do what I can. And especially since she's losing her sight and probably won't be able to drive, and I've got to be able to help. Actually, I've got to be able to assist her. There, cancel help, cancel that. Really working on that word too. That if I assist, I don't make her help less.
That's right. And that's a big distinction for a lot of people to learn. You don't ever help anyone because that gives the message that you're more capable than they are. But you can assist
Yeah,
and only give from your excess. Do what you
yeah.
can, after you've done your first job, which is yourself, and the immediate people there. It's been really hard for me to, I have people living on my property, and there just comes a time where, it's time for them to move on. And,
Mm-hmm.
and we're all kind of conflict avoidant.
Yes.
I'm not as much as most people. I will say I'm pretty direct, but I have learned how, if you're direct with a codependent person, they can wreak havoc in your life. It
Mm-hmm.
is amazing to me what a bad disease that is. And I call it a disease because it puts you in dis-ease with yourself and with life. And the other thing I wanted to mention was, you said it, yes means nothing if you can't say no. If you say yes so many times to so many things, something's going to have to give eventually, and you have to break your word.
Yeah.
Something's going to have to, so your no has to mean something. So you
Yeah.
got to be able to say no. It's part
Well,
of
and
all of our learnings.
right now, my no meant peace. It gave me what I wanted in the first place. Who knew? Right. And yeah, I am very conflict avoidant. And I think as soon as I got that email saying, well, your neighbors have complained and you have to get these people off your property, I panicked because I will avoid confrontation like no kidding. But I got through it. I didn't worry about it. I was like, I'm going to go take care of this. I'm going to go let them know now so that they have the time to deal with this. And then my brain went into spiraling, worrying about if the county shows up, they're going to just go down there and kick them out right now. Or I think with the motorhome situation, I think I could have been fined every day that they were still living in the motorhome. And that sent me in a different kind of panic. It was very interesting. So I've been just treating this whole thing as kind of an experiment. It's like, okay, what's my brain doing now? So, but because our thoughts can be really funny things. And the other thing about that video that I thought was interesting, I think it really does illustrate the quote from Einstein that the mind that created the problem is not the mind that's going to help you get out of it in the first place. So I thought of making up a list and asking you guys, what tools can we use to help us get in a different mindset? What's at our disposal?
Of course, the 4-step self-care protocol we just did.
That's why we did that one. Yep.
And getting a session of something, I know I do rapid eye, but I do a lot of modalities. Maybe it's this time you need to go get some body work. Maybe you need to, maybe you need to go to a training and enter some new energy into your field so that you can think of choices and think of things to do, so.
It was amazing. I think part of why I went through this so well was that I had two trainings around it happening. And we had the family matrix. I totally felt that whole 4 days like things were shifting all around me. I could feel the energy shifting. Absolutely. Anybody else know some tools they use that help shift them out of that energy they don't want to stay in and the thoughts that plague you? Carol.
Yeah, a couple of things that involve movement. One is to get out in nature and walk. Sometimes it's not walking, but often just that movement. And another thing that can help me is I call it bicycles. Lay on my back and kind of move my arms and legs like this really is whatever's fast for me. And it shifts the energy. Like it literally is using worry has adrenaline and cortisol attached to it because it's a form of fear. And just by using that up and kind of get things moving, and I get up and I'm feeling alert and like in my body. So those are just a couple of additional ones that, I'm sure who else has got some? What do you
That's
think?
awesome. That's great. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to try that one for sure.
Yeah, you just want to be careful. Like sometimes I've been not in as good a shape as others, and you just don't want to jump in and do it too hard.
Yeah, yeah. I actually want to research more. There's a lot of stuff I've noticed online about somatic healing and work and I know sometimes Linnell will have a shake during a session and it gets some of that energy out of our bodies because we store stuff. I am a master of stuffing stuff down that I don't want to deal with.
So was this synaptic uh,
Somatic.
Body.
what is it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm going to look it up though. I'm going to learn more about it because I'm very interested in it. But there's movements
Somatic
and
means
things.
body.
Yeah.
So
th-
it's something doing with the body.
Just moving the body?
yeah. There's different things that you can do that help release energy stuck in your body and emotions and things that get, that we stuff down. We drink, we eat, we do things that keep us from feeling.
Or
Everything's
if you have a
days.
if you have a traumatic incident, then that gets stored in the body if you're not releasing it.
Yeah.
For me, one of the things I do is put my feet on the ground. That helps me to just kind of recenter myself in deep breathing, and I like to watch funny movies. So anything funny, anything that makes me laugh is good for me to kind of get out some energy. And I
Yeah.
like looking at the sunsets.
That's best
Awesome.
stuff is putting your uh, feet down onto the ground. I mean, what and the
Grounding.
the community, then she taught me that. If you
Mhm.
ground yourself on for 90 minutes, 90 days, then I mean, you completely ground your whole organs and everything else.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. Thank you.
Yeah,
One of my
I love
ways is
shake.
music.
I love shake.
I love music. And one of the songs that helps me the most to shift my energy is Cake by the Ocean. Because we play it at trainings all the time. We get up and we dance. And my body remembers that and goes, oh, yeah, this song, this is great. And, I can get up in the morning and be in a bad mood and put some music down in the barn as I'm cleaning stalls, and I feel better. Um,
That's a
I
great song.
think it was Nancy earlier had said energy circles. Those are
Mhm.
great because it helps you focus what you do want. Has
So
everybody heard?
does anyone use the anchors, like when you have a good experience and you can just do the anchors, and then whenever you put your thumb and forefinger together, you can kind of instantly go back to that feeling,
Yep.
bring yourself right back to that.
Oh, that's awesome.
I actually established anchors for all four fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
While I was doing a lot of intensive training, I'd have different things release. Let's see, adrenaline, and then oxytocin, and so I got to the point where actually I accidentally triggered a. It was kind of funny if I accidentally triggered one of those anchors when it was really fresh. I'd just be going like, "Wow, I feel really good all of a sudden." Oh yeah.
Back
Oh,
on
cool.
77, what it's funny you mentioned that because back on 7707, then I had my hand pretty much cut off, and I still do this every single day, every
Yeah,
single day.
those exercises to strengthen it again. Yeah.
Well, not only to strengthen it, however, it's a healing point for not only the hand but your body and your soul
Yeah.
because it's
Wow.
all connected.
Cool.
I mean, uh, just to bring that to, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. And then the other thing I
No,
wrote down was eye patching
Oh yeah,
because that can change your energy really quickly too.
that's right.
Um, the phone a friend.
I'll
Yeah,
tell
phone
you
a
a
friend.
great story with eye patching one of these times for you, Tanya.
Okay. Yeah, there's been a couple times where I've called Linnell and said, okay, the turtle's on its back and it could be drowning. Help me not turn it over. Sometimes just having one friend that you can call and say, okay, I need to hear I'm on the right track. That what I'm creating is getting me towards that because this brain got me here. And sometimes another brain can help you get out of that because they can see it clearer. They can see the forest for the trees a little better than I can when I'm triggered and I'm having a tough time. So, but our brains are so creative and we're creating every day. And especially this concept, because this is another tool. I think reading and exploring things like documentary film and things like that, those are really good things for me because it does get my brain thinking about new thoughts. It gets me contemplating other things. I think reading is super important. I'm really
Mhm.
excited. The woman that wrote Eat, Pray, Love, Elizabeth Gilbert, has a new book out, and I've been seeing some really good things about it. I'm gonna pick that one up, even if I just listen to it on Audible. reading and exploring different things, it really does help think new thoughts. Because that blew me away, that of the 20 to 25,000 thoughts we have every day, only 10% of our thoughts are new. We're thinking the same things over and over again.
For me, doing research, I love learning new things, so that's very exciting to me. It gets my mind off of other things or worrying about my kids or doing other things. Because I have grandbabies, so my youngest daughter, had my two grandbabies, so I often worry about them. But when I do my research and learn things and just put my mind on something different, it feels really good, and I'm not worrying about anything. Like most of the day, I've been doing research, and I get really excited about it and thinking about new ideas of things that I can do, and it's much better than worrying about stuff.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Kids can do that too. Little kids, especially. You hang out with a little cherub for a few hours, and their world is so different, and you get to see it through their eyes, and it's great. Also, one of the other tools that I've found is for me the comfort of an animal. You know, I've
Mhm.
got this little black and white dog now that sits in my lap, and she just wants to sit, and she calms me down. And a lot of times, if I'm feeling like I'm having a really hard day, I go down to the barn and give my horse Rain a big old hug, and her energy is so calming for me.
Mhm.
So it's important that we have a really good list of things that we know we can do for ourselves that can help get us out of the itty bitty icky committee and the stinking thinking and that clash of the zacks that there's only one way forward and only one thought that keeps recurring. It's so important to have tools that we can
Mhm.
use to help us get out of those
Reset,
situations. Yeah,
reset,
re-
and rewire.
rewire. Okay, so I've got a little bit of an exercise to do about recognizing patterns of thinking that lead to limiting beliefs. So think of an empowering belief. One of my favorites lately is, what if it all works out?
I agree with you on that one.
What if it all works out?
I could totally agree with you on that one.
Okay, so is there a thought pattern that supports that belief? That, well, for me lately, the universe has been supporting the positive changes that are coming along, because when things have been working out, they've been working out quickly. They've just built on each other. And some days it just blows me away. It's like, oh, this was a huge problem yesterday, but today the universe is just providing opportunity all over the place. And so I am getting a support pattern for that belief that things work out. And yeah,
I
Kat.
I believe in you with that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So think of a limiting belief. What's something that's come up for you that's a limiting belief? My biggest one lately has been that they have nowhere to go. And I had lots of perceptions and beliefs and backup to go with that. But it turned out there were opportunities.
I got a lot of them.
Limiting beliefs. It's really important to look at those limiting beliefs. What is holding us back from really being the most incredible creative people we can be? For
And
a
truly
long
happy.
time.
And,
Sorry, Chad, what?
and truly happy.
Yeah. Happy, peaceful. I've been looking at that word a lot, um, about being at peace, feeling the peace inside for myself. Because I think sometimes we think of peace as being outside of ourselves, that it's the people around us. But peace really starts on the inside. And
works its way out.
and I want to feel more of that. And I want to be more of that for other people, more peaceful, supportive, but not helping.
I just want to be that for myself. And the loved ones
So,
around me. They can all
yeah.
support themselves, but I mean,
So we look at reframing those limiting beliefs. Really look at when, especially the patterns, the thought patterns that repeat for you. And what opposite belief, what empowering belief would help deal with that? So, challenge this week is to really focus when your mind comes up with one of these limiting beliefs, one of these things that is slowing you down, keeping you stuck. What is a new empowering belief or a new energy that you can bring to that to help you get unstuck?
okay, so what would be unsure on that?
Okay. So you have a limiting belief that you just don't know.
There's one pondering thing there's actually two pondering things that I'm unsure of. So,
Okay.
I mean, I've been trying to work it out for a couple months now.
Yeah.
I'm going through all, me, I've got all my life skills shit. Well, sorry, crap, but I'm just unsure on.
So look at the things that your brain tells you over and over and over that reinforce unsure. And switch that energy to what it is you want. Figure out what it is you want. Work at it. Uh-oh. What was this? Close. Did everybody just get a poll pop up on their screen? That was interesting.
I'm
Thank
not
you,
a huge
Zoom.
Bills fan, so Alan, what are you doing to us again, bud?
I didn't do it. Zoom did it, I'm sure. So, okay. Well, it's just one of those things. Really look at those things when they come up for you. The limiting beliefs that keep you stuck. And look at how you can shift the energy, get another brain in it if you need to. Call a friend, say, hey, this is what's going on.
I
And
already have.
look at the forest for the trees, man. And see if someone else has a better solution than your brain came up with. But okay, so in summary, our brains are amazing and creative, and our thoughts are going all the time. And I love this phrase, you can't underestimate the power of the brain. And with that statement, Alan has a song for us. And it is amazing and cool. And I just love these new songs. Thank you so much, Alan and Tyler, because this one's really good.
What the heck is this crap again?
Yeah, just hit close again.
Alan, Tyler, what are you guys doing?
Yeah. Waiting at the bus stop with several going by. It seemed that with each passing, my thoughts would coincide. I never had imagined a connection to my mind, that my thoughts would come and go with departure and arrive, like saying, this bus stop's for thoughts, where do you want to go? Please don't hesitate to tell me where or down which road. You can take your time, and if you just don't know, I'll be back around before that thought grows old. Yeah, I'll be back around before that thought grows old. Yeah, the smooth roads are relaxing, the rough ones cause me pain. Can't underestimate the power of the brain. Might as well make all of this materialize. I'm turning my thought processes into a bus ride, like saying, this bus stops for thoughts. Where do you want to go? Please don't hesitate to tell me where or down which road. You can take your time, and if you just don't know, I'll be back around before that thought grows old. I'll say, hold that thought, make a stop, I won't let it go. I'll turn it inside out and take a good look. I'll check the tire pressure, and if the fuel's on low, I won't blame it on the folks sitting on the third row. I'm making myself more focused, I'm claiming what is mine, and with each thought passing, it'll be because I let it stay or slide. Is life just happening? And anywhere am I? Or am I making happen what I want to come by? Like saying, this bus stops for thoughts. Where do you want to go? Please don't hesitate to tell me where or down which road. You can take your time, and if you just don't know, I'll be back around before that thought grows old. I'll say, hold that thought, make a stop, I won't let it go. I'll turn it inside out and take a good look. I'll check the tire pressure, and if the fuel's on low, I won't blame it on the folks sitting on the third row. I'm saying, this bus stops for thoughts. Where do you want to go? Please don't hesitate to tell me where or down which road. You can take your time, and if you just don't know, I'll be back around before that thought grows old.
That's so awesome.
That was
I
great.
love it.
It even gets better as you listen to it. The more times you listen to it, it starts to kind of, oh yeah, I get this, and this is great.
I loved the image of the little red wagon with the elephant on it, and
It's
it said, "Is
happening.
life just happening to you, or where are you in it?"
Yeah,
Did that elephant just go by in the little red flyer wagon, and you missed it?
yeah, that's awesome.
It's great, so good. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thank you all so much. And I hope this gives you something to think about this week.
Yay.
Tanya, I just hope everything works out best for you.
Yeah, it is. It's all working out. Everybody's happy and moving on, and that's good. It's going to be great.
You know,
One more,
I will always hold you true in my heart.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thanks.
I always will.
Thank you.
one more thing I wanted to say about thought is that
Yeah.
our brain is our gut is our second brain, they're saying.
Yeah.
So it's good to listen to your gut about your
Yes.
gut feelings about whatever going on, because your gut can tell you a whole lot. Even if
Yeah.
your mind is saying something different, your gut will tell you most of the time tell you the truth.
Yeah. Well, I think it was probably about 3 weeks ago we had that class, and a lot of this was going down. And I said this to Linnell. I said, my brain understands I'm doing the right thing, but my gut is on fire. It just does. It's not
Oh,
understanding that this is okay. It's like I've been codependent for so long, my body doesn't know how to calm down sometimes.
wow.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm not repeating that pattern of fixing everything, I'm in great distress. And so this has been such an amazing learning for me. And thank you all for being on this ride with me. And just, it's really changing how my body is wired with this codependency stuff. I think I'm finally getting the lesson. Please.
Thank you, Tanya. Thanks so much for facilitating. Thank
Yeah.
you,
Thanks,
Tyler,
Tanya.
for your huge contributions. Thank you so much.
Been
Thanks,
amazing.
Alan. And I
Wow.
just am so glad that we meet every week. And the training going in the November 5th is personal empowerment. And several of you that are on tonight are coming to that.
Oh, who else coming?